With reference to the Buddhist protector deity Drashi Lhamo, I just want to make a few comments and a few clarifications. So, Drashi Lhamo is regarded as a form of Shri Devi, but it's not clear to me. I've not read very much of the Tibetan literature on her origin myths or stories. But Shri Devi itself is a category, and it has different entities within it. So not all forms of Shri Devi are the same person or the same entity, such as the main one-faced four-armed Shri Devi is a form of Pelhamo or Lakshmi or Shri, and Shri Devi Maxor Gyalmo is a wrathful form of Sarasvati. So there are different forms of Shri Devi coming out from different other peaceful goddesses. Peaceful form, wrathful form. Back to Drashi Lhamo. Drashi Lhamo is the goddess of the four monks. It has an origin story that's basically, we really have to think that it's 18th century. It's possible it's a little earlier, but it is tied up with the Tibetan ruler Polane and with the Chinese Qianlong emperor. So it is tied up with a Sera monastery, a very small temple very close to the Chinese consulate in Lhasa, which is halfway between Sera Monastery and the Barkor. Very small, as it was explained to me by people who had seen it back in the 40s and 50s. It was very small, almost inconsequential at that time. Of course, Drashi Lhamo has really only become popular since the 1990s, and the lack of popularity of the Dorje Shugden and the suppression of the Dorje Shugden cult. So that gave rise to a lot of devotion to this Lhasa protector deity, Drashi Lhamo. She only exists really in Lhasa. Her temple is in Lhasa. Her origin myths are related to Lhasa. Now, in terms of her appearance, what really is most important is the elongated, distended tongue. And this is very, very reminiscent of images of Kali Ma, the mother Kali, from the temples of Calcutta. So she also has and can have an oracle crown, similar to the Nechung oracle. And then the other real iconographic characteristic that is talked about but not often seen are that she has chicken claw feet. There is also some disagreement as to what this means. In some Tibetan depictions, they will actually show chicken claw feet. In the main temple in Lhasa, I was never able to see whether or not the feet were chicken claws because they were always covered and they would not lift them. So now the controversy with the chicken claw feet is that according to some scholars, chicken claw feet also refers to foot binding common in the past in Chinese culture, the foot binding of women. And then this would be called a chicken claw. So some scholars say Drashi Lhamo does not actually have chicken claw feet. She actually has bound feet in a Chinese style, because this form of Shri Devi was intended to go to China at the request of the Qianlong emperor or the request of some Buddhists in China. And she had some of the characteristics of Chinese female culture and foot binding. So we really don't know. This history of Drashi Lhamo is not particularly old, but there are some Tibetan scholars that will be very knowledgeable on this and will be able to clear up a lot of these confusions. So just some points on Drashi Lhamo. So press the like button. Also, you can subscribe and you can help support HAR on Patreon.